Hey guys, Exto here, and welcome to presidential elections. So, this module is basically, we're going to be using a specific voting system to decide which order these candidates will go in. So, we're first going to decide what voting system we're going to use by doing a tournament bracket sort of thing here, where we're going to apply each of these numbers to each of these voting systems and follow these rules to get to the winner we're going to use. So all of these are slightly different, which are described down here. Of course, I'm only going to be able to do one example here, but I will try to explain the other methods, but I apologise if I get any of these slightly wrong. Do feel free to correct me. So anyway, let's fill in these numbers. So the first two, and then the second two, the third two, and the fourth two are going to go up against each other. So we have number of AA batteries, which is none. Twice the amount of D batteries, which is also none. We have number of lit indicators times 2, which is 2, and the unlit is 0. Number of ports, we have 3. Now port plates times 2, we actually have 4 port plates, so times 2 is 8. And second digit of the serial is also an 8. Yes. And the second last digit of serial is also an 8. So, in the first round, the greatest number moves on. If there are any ties, we're going to choose the one with the highest position. So, remember, this is going to be first past the post. This is last past the post. This is instant runoff. This is KTaNE's method. This is border count. This is approval voting. This is STV. This is composite. So the greatest number moves on, and it'll tie highest position. So last past the post goes, KTaNE's method goes, border count goes, and Condorcet goes. Second round, the lowest number moves on. So this one, first past the post, survives. And on this one, this is a tie again. The highest position moves on, so STV goes. And then we're going to take these numbers, write them out. On the third round, multiply the two numbers by 20, which we already have, and convert them into word form, so we have 0 and 8. The first number in alphabetical order moves on, so that's 8. So we're going to be using approval voting. So let's see what approval voting is. Approval voting. For the nth character of the serial number, look at the first n listed candidates. If n is not 1, 2, or 3, subtract 3 from n. Add 1 to the scores of those listed candidates. Score candidates from highest to lowest in the placing, which means that the first and the fourth one, only the first one they list is going to get a point. The second and the fifth, the top 2 will get a point, and the third and the sixth will get, the top 3 will get a point. This is one of these easier ones, along with border count, which is, I would say, the easiest, along with first and last past the posts. So, we're now going to find out how they voted. I'm just going to find out how they voted, and then we're going to do the whole scoring. So what we do, we look up each of the serial number characters and find out how they've ordered these 4 candidates. The 4 candidates being Hong Jin Ho, Anyone But Deaf, Neil C.C. Urega, and Crazy Caleb. Crazy Caleb you might know for doing some of the tutorials. By some I mean a lot of them. So, our first character is a U. In alphabetical order, their party names. So yes, these parties do have names. My favourite one, of course, being quack quack quack. As you can see, all of these have funny names, like Rented Too Damn Low Party, Cat People Party, which is a cat, because why else is it going to be? Trivia Murder Party. Still, quack quack quack. And funny enough, we have quack 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 up here. So the parts we have are quack quack quack. We have the conspiracy. We have Vine Boom. And we have the birthday party. Very quickly, birthday party was one in Parliament as well. So that's basically all of their party names. With the first ordering to be the fourth, and the second, then the first and the third. Okay. Second one, we have M. By Scrabble score, the last few letters of the candidates' names. Scrabble scores is just adding up the numbers. So the last few characters of each of the candidates' names, we have NHO, we have EAF, we have EGA, and we have LEB. I think we ignore the hyphen here. Did it might say that? Well, it's not a letter, so I'm assuming you do. So now we're going to find the Scrabble scores by adding up the letters. So we have NHO, which is 141, which is 6. We have EANF, which is 1, 1, and 4, which is 6 as well. We have EGA, which is 1, 2, and 1, which is 4. And LEB, which is 1, 1, and 3, which is 5. So we're now going to order these in descending order. Usually in order to resolve any ties. So we're going to have 1, 2, 4, 3. So if you can hear people in the background, they're watching a football game. So next we have 8, which is there. Alphabetical order by the candidates' names. So if you remember candidates' names, I'm just going to write down the first words of each one. So in alphabetical order of their actual names, we have 2, 4, 1, 3. Next up we have D. By Scrabble score of the first 3 letters of their names. Okay. So this time we're going to have HON, ANY, NEI, and CRA. So we go 4, 1, 1, which is 6, ANY, which is 1, 1, 4, which is 6, NEI, which is 3, and then the CRA, which is 3 plus 1 plus 1, which is 5. Which is very similar to what we had last time. So that's going to be 1, 2, 4, 3 again. Number 5, we have S. by the number of letters in the party names. Descending. So let's type their party names out again. Instead I'm going to give the party names as one string. We have Quack Quack. We have Conspiracy Party. We have Vine Boom Party. And we have Birthday Party. That's in descending order, remember? But since we have two ties, it's actually going to be regular order. So since this is going to be first and second, broken as first, second, and this is going to be third and fourth, we're going to third, fourth. The final one, we can't use A again, so we're going to move down to 9. By the number next to the colours' names. So the colours of the buttons, this means. So we have orange, which is 8. We have yellow, which is 3. We have, I think that's cyan, which is 4. And we have brown. That's got to be. So this said in descending order, yes. So in descending order, that's going to be 4, then 1, then 3, then 2. So now we apply proof of voting to this. Add 1 to the scores, listen to the candidates, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the points for each one. So the first one, 4 gets a point. Then 1 and 2 both get a point from the second set of votes. Then for the third one, 2, 4, and 1. So basically the ones that already had points are going to get an extra point. Then 1 again. Then 1 and 2. Then 4, 1 and 3. So 4, 1, and 3. Now hopefully if I've done this right, I know I say that every time. We order these from highest to lowest, where it says if there are any ties, press the tie candidates in any order. So if we've done this right, Quack Quack should be first. Then we should be able to press these two in either order, and then we press this one. And that is how you do your presidential elections. However, like I said, this isn't the end of the tutorial yet. I'm now going to give my best brief explanation of the other voting systems. First and last past the post are very similar. For each vote, look at the first or last. These candidates add 1 to their score, sort of candidates from highest to lowest to their placing. That means it's very similar to approval voting, but every single one is only the first one. And then last past the post, you should only look at the one at the end. And then sort of goes from lowest to highest. So these are basically identical, just with the opposite scoring systems. I'm going to skip over 3 of these for now. Border count. For each vote, add 4 to score the first, 3 to second, 2 to the third, and 1 to the last. That's why I said this is one of the simpler ones, because it's literally just scoring it 4, 3, 2, 1 from how they've listed it. And now we're going to come back up to Easter Runoff and Couth method. Again, pretty much the opposites of each other again. For each vote, take a look at the first or last listed candidate and add 1 to the candidate's score. You're going to do that for all of the 6 votes before you start this. And the candidate with the lowest score gets eliminated and gets last place. Or in this case, high score. If there are multiple such candidates, use last one in reading order, their score will get redistributed. In instant runoff, the first one is generally going to be 0 or 1. For each vote that contributes to their score, find the first non-eluted candidate listed on that vote. So say if we had this as our instant runoff one, we will look at the first listed candidate and add 1 to each of their scores. So that will be 3 for 1. That will be 1 for 2. none for 3, and 1 for 4. 2 for 4 even. So then this one would get eliminated, and the score will be distributed, but since it didn't have any points, nothing's going to get any extra points. And then this one gets eliminated. Then the one that contributed to number 2, the points go to number 4. So that's the next one in that list. And then we break ties again by using the last one in reading order. We eliminate the last one in reading order, which meant the top left one would have won in instant runoff. And this is the same, but more score redistribution, where the candidate with the high score gets eliminated, and then their score is redistributed amongst other people. And then you do it over and over again to get third to last, second to last, and first. So hopefully you understand how those two work. They're basically the same. It's basically you eliminate one, you give the scores to other people depending on which ones they won, basically. So say if 4 got eliminated for this one, the points would be transferred to number 1. This one looks very similar, single transferable vote. For each vote, the first listed candidate adds 1 to their candidate score. Again, do that for all of them. The candidate with the highest score is eliminated and gets first place. In order for candidates use the first one in reading order. So effectively, this is KTaNE's method, but the other way around. Where again, higher score is actually preferable than being a hindrance. Other than that, it's basically identical to KTaNE's method. But instead of going from last to first, we're going from first to last. And now, the Condorcet method. The Condorcet method is sort of like a tournament bracket, basically. Like a table like so, where rows represent the winner of a matchup and the columns represent the loser. Basically, you only increase each of the boxes if the rows voting position beats the columns. For each vote, add 1 to the cells corresponding to the results of each matchup. For example, if the vote was A, B, C, D, using the row column coordinate format, A would beat B, C, and D because it's to the left of all 3 of them. So it would increase all 3 in the A row because it is an A win for all 3 of them. B is to the left of C and D, so you increase the C and the D row for the B one. And then C beats D because C is to the left of D, but not any of the others, so we increase C and D. Briefly, C, row C, column D. And then you do that for all of the votes, and then the candidate who has beat every candidate more than they were beaten by them. Okay, in other words, all the cells in their row are greater than 3 wins. Sort the remaining rows by the sum of the numbers. If there is no such candidate who won more than 3, then you just sort them in descending order by the sum of the numbers immediately without doing that step. So hopefully you understand how all the other ones work now. I'm sorry if I've given a hand-wavy explanation of all of them, but hopefully you understand how presidential elections works now. And I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. See you later.